Am I in your way?
The wind blowing. See, the wind is blowing in the middle.
Your feet might burn.
Really?
Can you move behind the mirror? You can now walk through the shot.
Well, it's up to you. You can burn. Come in tomorrow. Which spot is
Yeah, over there. Anytime for something to get on.
I think when she came over,
Yeah.
it just didn't like that on the 8th. Yep. Yeah, you're all dressed up. Sign your name.
Yeah, you're giving me all these new outfits, so...
Back it up. C.
O-C-O. Big Joe.
I look at anyways. Thank you.
Okay.
AC's on. You will get some air.
All right.
That's in your pocket. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much. Hey! Nice to see everyone from the neighborhood. I am so incredibly grateful and proud of our team. There's a lot that's happening all across the city, and some of the things that I think are most important for residents, and what we hope are taken for granted, are the clean streets, safe neighborhoods, the day-to-day bread and butter of city government that often is invisible in terms of how does that happen, who's doing it. In East Boston alone, this amazing team has cleaned 400 sites of vandalism from private property in just the last couple of months. So John and the entire team, I mean, you could see I need to do a little bit more weightlifting to be able to really get into that. John said we would have been here all day if I had been doing it. So the expertise, the care, the love for our communities that is represented by all of our team members who take this work on every day is amazing. So we wanted to specifically show you a little bit about what goes into that work, all of the preparation, the muscle, the hard work, the layers of soaping and cleaning and sitting and then washing off. This is what goes into keeping our city as beautiful as we know it could be. And so I'm going to have more comments to share in a little bit. I want to give some of our cabinet members and department heads a chance to weigh in first, and then I'll wrap up with some thoughts, and then we'll take Q&A. But we'll start with our Chief of Operations, Dion Irish, then our Chief of the our Chief Information Officer, Santiago Garces, then Chief of Community Engagement, Brianna Milor, our Superintendent of Street Operations, Mike Broll, City Councilor Gigi Coletta, and then I'll back clean up. Oh, and Eamon, if Eamon wants to say anything as well, Commissioner of Property Management. Okay. Chief Irish?
Thanks, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad that everyone was able to get a glimpse of this amazing team and that works so hard every day. As you know, as an administration, we want to tackle all the big things, climate, housing, affordable housing, and a lot of important things, transportation. But we also are very serious about taking on the nuts and bolts things and the things like graffiti vandalism. And this team is a part of that effort. And we also just want to take advantage of this opportunity just to encourage others to come join our team. We have amazing opportunities. We have an opening on our graffiti team. I know we have openings on other city agencies that are doing like core city services. So this is an important way to contribute to our community, and so I hope that we see some increased applications to help us continue to do this amazing work that contributes so much to the quality of life in the city of Boston. I'll turn over to Santi.
Buenas tardes. I'm Santiago Garces. I'm the Chief Information Officer for the City of Boston. And I'm so proud to work for the city and to work in a department that enables and connects the residents with the employees that deliver the constituent services that make living in the city such a great experience. The mayor has called us on making the experience of being a resident more delightful. that we provide better information and that we're able to connect the needs of the residents with the work and the employees that are able to solve the problems that residents experience. So want to make sure that if people are interested in serving, that they come and go to the website and look for jobs that might be a good fit. And we're just delighted, and hopefully we can bring more data, more user experience research, and a more intentional way of making these services better for our residents.
Good afternoon, everyone. Brianna Malore, Chief of Community Engagement. I want to say thank you to the entire team here, especially Keith and John, for really holding it down and keeping our city clean and safe and healthy. So thank you to that team. And this is an all hands-on-deck effort when we're keeping our streets clean and safe for our residents. I want to shout out Office of Neighborhood Services, of course, because we are keeping our ears to the ground, and we need the residents' work and constituents work alongside us to address these issues of vandalism. So please use the 311 app to report if you see any vandalism in your neighborhoods, and also please call your neighborhood liaison. We have Natalia, who represents East Boston in particular, so shout out to her as well. And thank you for all of the work that every constituent does and alongside our city leaders. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, Mike Burrell with Boston Public Works Department. I'm proud to be here to represent the hardworking men and women of Public Works and also support the good work of Chief Irish in trying to get the core basic city service projects right. We oversee the maintenance and care of 67,000 streetlights throughout the city. We oversee trash pickup and recycling pickup for 70,000 homes a day. We pick up the dead animals that you call in. We handle your litter baskets, street cleaning, and all, the core nuts and bolts things. With that, we also work very closely with Chief Malore, also with Santi's team. We rely heavily on the 311 system. I always say, please, if you see something, create a case. That's accountability on our end. That's something for us to work against, to find. You're working to help us do the job to create a better and cleaner city for yourselves. With that, we're always looking for new people to come into the city to work with us. We've got many positions in the city right now with Public Works that are open, whether they be CDL licensed positions with hoisting licenses or regular Class D license. We've got openings in street lighting, maintenance mechanics to help fix these 67,000 street lights. When they do go out, please visit boston.gov, look for the jobs link, search PWD. Also on October 8th at the Holland School, there's going to be a citywide job fair. That job fair will host many different departments. I hope people look at the Public Works table and see what we have to offer. And again, please, I see here, I have some colleagues here who started with the city and have moved themselves up their ranks, and they're able to create a life and build a family and really add to the value of the city that they live in. We'd love to see more people reach out. We certainly have the openings. Councilor Coletta?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gabriella Coletta. I'm the City Councilor representing East Boston, Charlestown, and the North End. I'm so happy to be here with Mayor Wu, her chiefs, and Commissioner Brohl to celebrate all of the incredible efforts on behalf of city workers. Solving 400 graffiti cases is no small feat, so I want to give a special shout out to Kenny, to John, to all of the Public Works team for their efforts in making sure that this got done. Boston is a world-class city because we prioritize beautifying our built environment and our physical infrastructure. And I think a lot of us talk about nuts and bolts being basic city services, but there's nothing basic about what happens every single day in these city departments on behalf of hundreds of city workers. So I'm so proud to represent this district. I'm so proud to represent all of the city workers, and proud of what they do every single day. And I do know that there are a lot of positions that are open in the Public Works Department and in multiple different departments. So please be sure to visit boston.gov to get more information. So thank you all again, and thank you again to the Public Works Department.
Hi folks, Eamon Shelton. I'm the Commissioner of Property Management. I want to thank you, Mayor Wu, for recognizing the work that the graffiti team does every day. I want to thank the graffiti team by name: John Bynan, Keith Nance, Larry Drayton, Jason Moynihan, Ken Ryan. So we appreciate the work you all do. As others have said here, we're hiring in property management. Boston.gov. Please check out the open positions. We do this work every day. It's seasonal work, so they do it from April 1st to December 1st. And we actually prioritize hateful graffiti when we hear about it, and we work throughout the entire city. So as a resident of East Boston, I want to thank you all for the work today, and thanks everyone for your support. Appreciate it.
So a few points that I wanted to make. Thank you again to our incredible team. Today we're just trying to show a little bit about all the individual steps and the hard work that goes into cleaning up graffiti vandalism. There are, as you heard, many different ways in which our city staff are 24 hours a day taking care of the things that matter most to residents, their basic quality of life, clean streets, safety. I want to also just make sure that we are acknowledging that graffiti can also be valid art, and in many spaces is an important way of expression and representation of the culture and vibrancy of our city. And in fact, on Saturday we are going to be celebrating the completion of the city's tallest mural, Soledad, a piece of color and energy by Victor Marca 27 Quiñones at a community block party in the South End. We're currently working with Jeremy Sobek Harrison on a graffiti art project for the Roxbury Branch Library. And so we're not talking about that kind of graffiti today. We're talking about that on private property that is unwanted, and that is a form of vandalism that is targeting or demeaning our communities. And of course, as you heard, we prioritize those requests that come in or that are identified in our communities that include any sort of profanity or targeting of the many requests that do come in. We do depend on our residents to help us identify and spot what is happening across our neighborhoods. This crew is incredibly proactive, and they are doing everything they can. They're in each and every one of our streets and blocks, but those 311 requests really do help us prioritize and just make more efficient where we're moving through the city. So thanks to 311, hundreds of cases of graffiti vandalism have been cleaned up in East Boston just in the last month alone. And you can see each one takes effort, takes time, takes resources, and so we're really proud of our team, but just want to thank all of our residents for partnering with us on that. If you see any graffiti vandalism that meets these criteria and needs to be removed, please report it to 311, either through the app or through the website or through a phone call, and we'll make sure that property management receives that information that's needed. When you do use the app, I know not everyone has it on your phone, but if you have the option to do so, it's very helpful because that app allows you to directly take a picture of what you see and submit it, which helps our crews just reference exactly what they're looking for and where it is. And just to quickly clarify for 311, on behalf of 311, the vandalism that might include property damage, like broken windows or other types of physical property damage, those go to BPD instead of to 311. We will help sort it out on our end as well, but just wanted to clarify. And again, there are many important jobs that get you in the door to the wealth of professional development and teamwork and love for our city that jobs at city government really represent. And so whether it is driving a street sweeper or cleaning off graffiti or taking 911 calls or serving in our cafeterias, in our schools, we have hundreds of vacant positions right now across the city, 1,200 alone immediately available on the City of Boston's website, and particularly in departments like this is the bread and butter of what we are proudest of in terms of the services we provide to residents, but we need to keep building up our ranks. And so we're especially looking for anyone, again, we're pushing hard on the hiring front today. There are opportunities available. If maybe you're employed, but you work with an organization that could have the capacity to co-host a job fair along with us or help spread the word, or a friend or family member, we want to make those connections and really get into each and every one of our communities, multilingual communities, every single neighborhood. We want to see those jobs represented by our Boston residents. So boston.gov/jobs, but again, please reach out. We want to go even further than that and actually get out of City Hall into our neighborhoods. And if you are a graffiti artist looking for your next canvas, not on private property, that is other property, but as part of the city's public arts program, our Arts and Culture Cabinet is also looking for artists to display their work in our neighborhoods. And you can learn more or propose a project at boston.gov/public-art, boston.gov/public-art. Otra vez en español, just to make sure our community members, especialmente en East Boston, are part of this. Buenas tardes, gracias por estar aquí con nosotros en East Boston. Estoy aquí con amigos y colegas de gobierno, jefe de operaciones, Dion Irish, jefa de participación comunitaria, Brianna Milor, superintendente de operaciones de calle, Mike Broll, y nuestro jefe de información, Santiago Garces, y el comisionado de administración de propiedad, Eamon Shelton. Juntos, las personas que están aquí hoy y sus equipos, y también especialmente su concejal, Gabriela Gigi Coletta. Juntos, estamos aquí hoy con estos equipos. Se dedican a coordinar para asegurar que cada día tengamos equipos en todos nuestros vecindarios. Hacen el trabajo más difícil para mantener nuestra ciudad limpia y ofrecer servicios fundamentales a nuestros residentes. Desde rellenar baches hasta limpiar la basura o limpiar los edificios vandalizados por los grafitis, estos equipos realizan para que Boston siga funcionando. Son cosas básicas de las que dependemos y en las que confiamos, pero en las que no siempre nos fijamos. Por eso, hoy vamos a demostrar nuestro proceso para eliminar el vandalismo de los grafitis en Boston. Quiero empezar reconociendo que el graffiti también puede ser una forma de arte válida, un arte callejero, imaginativo, expresivo con raíces en importantes movimientos artísticos negros y latinos. Muchas de las obras de arte público de nuestra ciudad son grafitis. El sábado celebraremos la finalización del mural más alto de la ciudad en South End y actualmente estamos trabajando con otro artista en un proyecto de arte de graffiti para la biblioteca de Roxbury. Estos no son los tipos de grafitis de lo que estamos hablando, pero nuestro Departamento de Administración de la Propiedad da prioridad a la eliminación de las pintadas que vandalizan nuestra ciudad y comunidades. Los grafitis que atacan o denigran a nuestras comunidades o profanidades. Este equipo depende de todos nuestros residentes para hacer su trabajo con eficacia. Entonces, gracias a los informes de los residentes, a 311, nuestro equipo pudo limpiar aproximadamente 400 casos de vandalismo por grafitis en Boston este verano, incluyendo algunos en esta misma esquina. Le pedimos que si ven algún acto de vandalismo, que lo reporten a 311. Pueden usar la aplicación de teléfono o llamar a 311. Si es posible, le pedimos que usen la aplicación porque es una gran ayuda tener una foto de referencia. Por último, si te apasiona mantener nuestra ciudad bella, nuestro equipo está contratando actualmente. Pueden visitar boston.gov/jobs para aplicar. Y si eres un artista del graffiti, nuestro Gabinete de Arte y Cultura está creando oportunidades pagadas para que los artistas expongan sus obras en nuestras comunidades. Pueden aprender más o proponer un proyecto en boston.gov/public-art. Okay, thank you so much. Any questions for anyone assembled here? For the majority of jobs that we are talking about, residency requirements do apply. There are certain categories of jobs where we are, in fact, in such dire need of staffing, affecting basic city services such as 911, such as food service workers in our cafeterias, that the Residency Commission has actually granted a temporary residency waiver to be able to get us up to the levels where we can have a guarantee that those jobs will be filled and that work will be done. And so it's not a requirement for every single one of those positions in the moment, but generally it is a requirement.
I know a lot of people would be interested in jobs like this. And it was not my intention to put you on the spot like this, but I was thinking as you were talking. I do know a lot of people who like a job with the city, but can't afford to live in the city. So you've got a catch-22 situation here.
That is a concern that each and every one of our department heads is experiencing as well, that as housing prices go up, our city workers are just as impacted, if not the first to be impacted, because of the residency requirement and because of being so connected in our communities. And so we need to be pushing on all levers there to put as much as we can towards bringing housing costs down, creating more affordable housing, and where necessary to ask to be real and upfront about that need. And so the Residency Commission has been working with us to be able to get us up to some basic, acceptable, sufficient staffing levels while we recover.
What is this pay?
Yeah, so I believe we're in the 40 to 50 range for these graffiti removal positions. I will say that we're looking at all of our positions and trying to right size them. So that's a process we're going through department by department within property management.
This way, you're talking about this way?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, right size up.
All right, thank you.
I got an off-topic question for the mayor.
Okay, anything on topic first? And I can do.
Do you have numbers on constituent vandalism? Have been climbing, going down, getting more efficient, and
Yeah, so we are looking at our processes to be more efficient. We get about 4,000 cases per year. And so, for example, over the last 2 months, we've knocked out about 400 cases just here in East Boston alone. And so we're always looking at new ways to be more efficient. It's pretty consistent year over year, yeah. And as I mentioned before, we do snow removal. I mean, we do graffiti removal from April to December, and so the cases continue to come in on those months when we're doing snow removal and other projects. So yes.
Many cities, given the amount of money spent, it's serious money, and given the amount of effacement for a city, many cities have they thought about trying to have some type of educational effort to talk to these kids, maybe get through to them. I'm not sure they understand how much money is involved that could be better spent on their families.
Yeah, I mean, we are all part of a community, and we rely on each person, each member of our community to take care of each other and understand the ways in which we are impacting other people around us and our neighbors and fellow residents of the city. And so you see how much work goes into cleaning up each of these incidents, and it's painstaking work. It is layer upon layer and site after site. And so what we want to do in the city of Boston is to find ways that we can support arts and culture, support creative energy, and do so in a way that is beautifying our city. We respect and have been celebrating graffiti artists as well, and as you heard, are incorporating that work into some of our official city buildings and projects, but to respect private property and ensure that each one of us is a responsible member of our community is something that goes a long way for city staff as well as for the larger neighborhood.
Get your take on the public records department's practice of just closing out requests, like this study is on an action, and what this. Do you think the public records department's doing a good job?
Yeah, I'm gonna. If there's no more on-topic questions, I'm going to unsuit and then I'll address this on the side, and that way no one has to stand here and wait. Anything else for anyone who's here? You're good. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man. So great.
Great job.
I did
That was
very
powerful,
useless.
that one, huh?
No, I mean, even that little pink part.